up and welcome back or welcome to my channel. It's me, Marissa here, and if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button to be a part of my YouTube family. If you are new here, like I said, my name is Marissa. I will be a sophomore in the fall at Kent State University, and I'm a communication studies major, and here on YouTube I make videos all about college and lifestyle topics. So for today's video, I asked you guys on my community page what kind of college related video you guys wanted to see, and the top vote was to do a video all about how I got straight A's my first year of college and kind of like college studying advice. So I actually did a video about like studying in general around this time last year. If you want to check that out, I'll put that above. I also wanted to give a little bit of a disclaimer before we get started that obviously grades and what letter grade you get in your GPA does not define you in any way. It is not a make it or break it kind of thing. I was just kind of surprised with myself on how well I did this year, so that's why I am making this video. Know that grades, a GPA does not define you. It is not the most important thing in the world. So as long as you're trying your best and studying and know you're putting forth that effort and using your resources, that is the best that you can do. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into my advice. So the first piece of advice that I have is to find the best environment that you study in. But by environment, there are actually a lot of different things you should be considering. So obviously first, your location. Do you like studying in your dorm room, in your bed, which I do not recommend, in a lounge, in your dorm building, in the library, outside, so many different places that you could study obviously. So then once you kind of find the place that works for you, also should be considering, do you like studying alone with one other person or in a group of people? Do you like to study with music on, music off, ASMR playing in your headphones? Are you able to have your phone near you, or does it distract you too much? These are just all things you should definitely consider before sitting down to study. I know for me personally, I love to study in the library. Sometimes I like to go with one friend at max, or other than that, I like to go by myself. I cannot study well in noise, so I do not like listening to music or anything. And then I also hate having my phone near me when I'm studying because it just distracts me a lot. So that kind of figuring it out can take a bit of trial and error, but once you do, it'll be so beneficial to you and your studying. My second tip is to plan out your studying and use your time management skills. You want to make sure that you are giving yourself enough time to actually be able to retain information enough days or even weeks in advance. Depending on you and your class and what exactly like the exam's gonna be like, if you know that, just give yourself enough time in advance to study. It would also really help, especially in your first semester of college, to actually write in your planner your studying times or put it in your phone or something. I know for me personally, the one class that I had to study for the most was an upper level psychology course that I took for fun. I don't know why. And by the time that I got to like my second, third, fourth exam, I knew that I needed to start studying at least like a week in advance. My third thing is to figure out your favorite way to take notes. So people take notes differently in every class because some professors let you use technology. My first semester, I'm pretty sure that I did handwrite most of my notes. I personally found for me that handwriting my notes makes everything stay in my brain better. Second semester, there was a couple classes that it was just easier for me to type the material out because my professor would give me PowerPoint slides and then like just fill in the blank kind of situation. Sometimes it is a little bit more difficult to keep up with writing while the professor is talking, and then there was a whole PowerPoint to copy too, and it was just like a lot of information, and it was kind of hard sometimes, but like if you can't get it all, just take a picture of the PowerPoint and listen to what your professor is saying first, because the PowerPoint will be there but like his words won't be. But definitely kind of play around with that and figure out your favorite way. And it also has been like proven that writing your notes is better than typing. So it kind of just depends on you and how you learn. You also want to figure out kind of an organization method for your notes. So I would do like my heading like in big obviously, and then I would do like bullets, and then I would circle a lot of keywords. I don't really know why. My fourth piece of advice is to actually be engaged during your lecture. Participate, pay attention obviously, don't be on your phone. You know, as like the first semester went on, there was this one class that I would just like start to be on my phone in. Biggest mistake I could have made. I mean, obviously I still did well in the class, but it just got to the point where it was so boring and repetitive that I didn't want to listen to it anymore, but it happens to the best of us. So make sure you're paying attention, be engaged, answer questions, ask questions if you want to. I know it's kind of scary, like I don't really like doing that, but it does help you retain the information better. My fifth piece of advice is to do your readings if you have them before the lecture. When I was reading the textbook before going to class, it felt a lot better because I kind of knew what to expect and what we were going to be talking about. And as she was talking about stuff, it was easier to make connections to things. If you have required reading, just do it. I know like I also had another class where we would have required readings and then we would also have pop quizzes. So you literally had to read whatever was you're supposed to read because you might have a quiz on it. My sixth piece of advice is to look over and kind of chunk your notes together and section them off after your lecture. Kind of help you be proactive so that way when it comes to making your flashcards or actually sitting down to study for an exam, you already have your notes nice and organized. You can also add tabs or stickies. My seventh piece of advice is probably my most important, and that is that repetition is key. So when you're studying the material that you need to know for an exam, whether you know this from a study guide or you're just kind of studying all of your notes, repetition is key. This has been scientifically proven that if you repeatedly look at your notes or flashcards or a Quizlet like I use, repetition only works if it's not done at the last minute. So like I said earlier, you have to plan out that time to study to get it repeatedly in your brain. And then science has also proven that with rest, your brain remembers information. So as the days go on, you'll start remembering information better and your studying should get easier from one day to the next. Like I said, some ways for repetition can just be like reading over your notes if that's what you're about, or you can rewrite them, retype them, but that's like a lot of work. So I personally had to make a Quizlet because it's digital flashcards, and I like Quizlet a lot because you can self-test yourself, you can like write the phrases in, or you can study by using flashcards. And they have a good system that when you're first learning a set, it'll make you learn each thing twice and then help you with like things that you missed. But either way, you want to be repeating the information. My eighth piece of advice is to study in spurts. So one of the techniques or methods my professor shared with us was called the Pomodoro technique. And it's basically like you sit down, put your phone away, turn off any other electronics, and you sit down and study for 25 minutes or like however long you can stay focused for. And then you set your alarm, like your phone alarm for 25 minutes, you study, you do your stuff, and then you get up, you take a little walk, take a little 5-minute break, eat a snack, drink some water, and then you go back to studying. So you can do this for as long as you want, but I really find that the 25 minutes 5-minute break works for me pretty nicely. It's really helpful, so I recommend you give it a try. It really helps to just retain your focus so you're not sitting there studying for 2 hours straight and you feel brain dead, because that's happened to me before. My ninth piece of advice is to go over the material until you feel comfortable with it, but like don't overdo it. I like have anxiety. I would like study material so much that it would just like be way too much. Like I knew the material, I was just like, well, I'm scared, so I'm just gonna study it more. If once you feel comfy, like, and then you went over a couple times after that and you feel good about it, like don't stretch yourself out too much, because then you get test anxiety. And we don't like test anxiety. So, and finally, my 10th piece of advice is not to be so hard on yourself. Literally, college is a huge adjustment. I say this in all my videos, but as long as you're trying hard, doing your best, and putting forth the effort and using resources like tutors if you need them, you're literally fine. Right, so that is all the advice that I have on how I got straight A's in my first year of college. Somehow. I really hope this video was helpful for you if you are going to college or if you are in college. And if you are a fellow college student too, make sure you guys comment below your favorite studying tips or stuff that you like to do to study to help some other incoming freshmen out. If you guys really enjoyed this video today, and I will see you guys with my next one. Bye guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't be a stranger. Let me get to know ya. There's a kind of